Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the DreamLeague Major Season 11 conclusion. We're here in Group B, Infamous versus Fnatic, our second series of the day, and this is going to be another good one. Game 1, best of 3. I'm Zyori, he's Trent. We've got all the action. Can Mason make a name for himself on LAN once again, or will this Infamous squad suffer another defeat as we saw yesterday? Trent, your analysis.
I would say I'm favoring Fnatic quite heavily. I would say like 80-20 to take the series.
Okay.
That seems kind of fair to me, to be honest. But we'll see. Perhaps Mason squad can stick it out. And I mean, the reason why I say that is because yesterday did not go too well. I mean, obviously LGA are a extremely good team, but it didn't really look like Infamous could figure out a game plan for themselves. Like, Mason had like, game 2 especially, just, they looked totally lost. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll find themselves something a little bit better to work with. Already the draft, I mean, a nice couple counters to the Ember. You got Ursa with a very quick burst damage to take someone down. And then the Dispel and the Root from the Oracle.
Absolutely. I think a good combo in their own right. And then when you factor in the Ember Spirit on the other side, like, okay, this is a really safe opener. Right back with the Keeper of the Light, though. A hero we saw, I believe, once yesterday at least. I remember him.
Fnatic had it.
Sorry?
Fnatic had picked it in game 2.
And they farmed a lot with him. They gave the Coddle quite a bit of farm priority, and he just went for some great utility items. I think a nice early Glimmer Cape, picked up a Force Staff after that, and he was one happy man.
And it'll be Infamous with the first pick out of this phase. So straight up, they take Ember, Coddle, and then they ban Nyx Assassin. Good choice. That would be a great game to play Nyx already. Jeez. I wouldn't care what the other 3 heroes were. On top of that, I think Darkseer might be something that Fnatic... I guess it depends, right? It's like the Darkseer feels good for Fnatic, but there's already an Oracle, so then you can't really do that. So I guess that's a nice little bit of coverage there. But I'm just thinking like this Ember, like trying to boost him up a little more with like an Ion Shell or something. I guess the Magnus is banned out too. So Ember is a little bit on his own this game.
Okay. So glancing just at the general format to clearly state the stakes here. This is the middle of the Group B GSL stage. No teams are eliminated in the group stage in this major. The group stage is purely for seeding. If you are top 2 of your 4-team group, you start in the upper bracket. And if you are bottom 2 in your 4-team group, then you start lower bracket. So this match here...
Round 1, best of 1 BT dubs at this event.
Sorry?
It is a best of 1 lower bracket as well. Just want to point out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Worth mentioning here. And you're right, that first round is the only best of 1 round in the whole event. So the winner of this series here will stay alive. Loser is guaranteed lower bracket. And then our match after this will be the decider between who goes upper and who goes lower. So loser of this one, guaranteed starting in the lower bracket.
GSL is so painful when you don't win those first. Like it has the highest highs and the lowest lows, man. Like like let's say you're Fnatic and you win this series and then you lose the next series. You play through so much shit just to end up in a best of 1 in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
Whereas if you win those first 2 series, man, you're just upper bracket. Let me just check out, when do these guys play? We got all right, they are actually playing the winter bracket games at least tomorrow. So it's I mean, unless you're LGD or Secret. In fact, LGD apparently have 2 days and 2 hours until they have to play, and Secret have 2 days. So they got some breathing time for those 2.
Yeah, no doubt. So back to the game. Nyx and Jug banned out by Fnatic, and it was the Shadow Shaman and the Nature's Prophet now banned out by Infamous as we await this 3rd pick.
Yeah, they're looking to ban out the stronger 5-position laning supports to help, like if this Ember goes safe lane, just to make sure he has a pretty good time. Amongst all this, though, the Bounty Hunter has actually slipped through here, which was a heavily contested hero across all of our series yesterday. It kind of came in and out of favor in a couple of them. But Infamous not going to go for the grab on it quite yet. They'll take themselves an Earth Spirit. So nice longer range initiation versus the Ember. Just getting that quick silence off, requiring the Yules, the BKB perhaps.
I like it. I think against Keeper of the Light, definitely. The Earth Spirit feels a little better. Only seen him picked once in the games we've cast. And that was last series, not the best Earth Spirit game. Hoping to see a little more out of this guy.
Well, the Bane is still in. Looks like a pretty solid Bane game.
For sure.
And that's what they did yesterday with the Coddle.
I think it's a good
You don't
combo.
really want to reveal anything. There's nothing else that's really that valuable, I don't think, here.
I guess CM is still in the pool.
Yeah, I think with the Shocker, though, you're already pretty good on that regard.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty bad Rubik game as well. So, yeah, I think we'll just stick with that.
Team pick.
Okay.
The
All right.
Raptor.
The X-Nova special. Fnatic going to take it this time.
Sweet. Definitely
I'm not
has
sure how I feel about these heroes, though.
Well, it has a place against Ursa. I think it cuts both ways, right? When they're on the same team, very good to help people locked in close quarters so Ursa can do his damage, but the other way can make it difficult for Ursa to stick on targets. Glimpse can be a pretty effective tool against Earth Spirit as well.
5
So
seconds remaining.
I dig. You don't like it here?
I don't know. I'm not sold. It's like Oracle has like such a nice long range of save that, like, are you going to try and combo people down and kill them inside the Static Storm? I mean, what are the odds that Oracle and the hero he wants to target are inside?
That's
And then-
true.
You need like a strong leaning hero with the Ember or with the Disruptor too. Like you can't just. I don't think Ember and Disruptor are going to be a lane. I don't know. I don't really see the value in Disruptor here, but I love Disruptor. I like the hero.
I mean,
They
melee.
definitely need just more aggression. I think if you want to play this hero like this, like maybe even like a Night Stalker
10
or something.
seconds remaining.
I see where you're coming from with the Coddle already picked up, but now with the
5
Doom, I think
seconds
triple
remaining.
melee makes this Disruptor Coddle combo feel not too bad, right? They've got a lot of AoE across these three and positioned to capitalize on that pretty effectively. Couple
So
of
the
cores
2 in a
here.
row now for Fnatic though. So probably want a offlane hero here, I would guess. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. They just want whatever hero they think will get banned. So currently in this game, we have an Ursa, a Doom, and they will go back for that Naga. So she's popping off a little bit here. Talked about how it was getting banned versus Mineski a few times. We just had it for LGD, Ame in a victory, and now we will have it for Fnatic here.
And now the Disruptor makes a little more sense, right? This combo is very solid in terms of team
that's
fight.
much better. This is the newbie classic, right? Disruptor Naga,
10 seconds
Song,
remaining.
Static Storm,
Yeah.
100%. And they can even lane together too. Like
5
it's
seconds
obviously
remaining.
a pretty strong pairing.
Naga's
Definitely
pretty
like this.
beefy. She's got the damage. It's pretty good. I like it. I think the Ensnare is also just another handy tool. It adds extra value to Naga here against like Ursa, who's particularly susceptible to those sort of things.
Must be nice to be one of the mounted heroes in Dota, you know? Everyone else has to walk around everywhere across that whole map. They're buying boots and stuff. Look how chill Caudle looks right now. Doesn't he look like he's just maxing and relaxing?
Yeah, I mean that's
He's even
isn't
like
that
leaned
Coddle's
back
MO?
a little bit. He's kind of got his feet like far forward, like he's riding a chopper or something. Disruptor's a little more active, you know. He's got the knees bent a little bit more. He's like forward, a little bit more forward face, and he's got his hand up on the saddle.
I think that's the glory of Coddle. He's reached that age where he is just completely apathetic about everything, you know? He's the cynical old man that's like, you can't do anything to me. I've already done it to myself. I've experienced the worst I'm going to experience.
When does he get a senior discount though at the shop? That's the real question. He's like busting out his card. But they will ban the Venomancer. We've talked about this quite a bit, where we have the Veno versus the Ursa.
Oh, yeah, the Veno versus Ursa, yeah.
Yeah, a little too irritating.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know what this last pick is for Fnatic, though. They've really got
5
some
seconds
options.
remaining.
They need a
Need some
strong
damage.
laner that can. I'd say like Razor looks pretty good right now.
Razor,
The Viper's
yeah.
already banned out. The OD is kind of okay here. They don't have any way to do Roche. They also suck at pushing towers. Maybe that Death Prophet that we saw earlier was actually pretty good.
I like that.
What
do
about
have-
Abed heroes?
They do have issues with objectives right now. I think that's a cause for concern. I mean, Naga doesn't really become good at pushing until she's pretty maxed out, or at least got a couple big items.
It's hard to pick some of those nice early pushers too. Like you think about like a Dragonite or something, but with the Ursa there. You don't want to do that because then they can just put the Ursa mid and go a little greedier. The lone druid is actually still in, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That would be pretty good.
Fnatic's turn.
And wow, they banned DP themselves. Something like Lina could be all right for Fnatic. They've got some decent setup.
Yeah, she's actually okay at pushing too.
Also
I can
combos
deal with that.
nicely with Naga. I still also like the Razor that you mentioned. I think Razor Naga, there's still some synergy there as we talked about earlier. Put him to sleep, still sapping damage with the Link.
Remaining.
Kind of guarantee a double damage on your Razor whenever you have a good
5
setup.
seconds remaining.
And there's just not that many great like last picks. Like let's say they take the Razor, then Infamous will probably go back for that Quap again. That's what we saw last time. And then if they have a Queen of Pain, I'm just like, okay, cool. Game looks all right.
Yeah.
I don't like Infamous's lanes that much already. Like the Earth Spirit Doom and everything. Oh, so they're gonna try the Naga mid, I guess. I mean, now if I'm Infamous, I'm sending the Ursa mid for Tomato, and I'm going back for a harder carry for Mason. I think.
I don't know. Fnatic have a lot of options here. Is there any world where this is a mid Beastmaster? I know that's super old school, but is that viable?
Well, I mean, I would say probably not. I think it's gonna be for Ice.
Okay, now Alchemist for Infamous. So Tomato takes the Alchemist, and it will be Mason that grabs the Ursa.
Interesting. So, see, I don't really like this Alch because now Abed can just go mid on the Ember. Whereas at least there's like questions about it. I think if, I guess I don't understand why you wouldn't just put the Ursa mid.
Sort of with you, and I think another melee, like Fnatic have really good team fight. They've just got great AoE, disable, setup, damage, and melee makes that a little harder to play around. Or Oracle's a great backliner for that, but all your damage is frontliners getting in there, and I think Fnatic is pretty damn good at dealing with that. Even the Beastmaster last pick for Ice, as you said, you've got a Primal Roar, great initiation tool or counter initiation tool if Doom or Ursa jump in.
Yeah, at least it is a little bit of push that they were definitely missing.
Very true.
Yeah. What year is it, guys? I mean, are we gonna get some Radiance Dota? Are we gonna get Alchemist and Naga Radiance Salute? Can I get myself? Like, we already went pretty long. I came upstairs and Sarah was just like, "Oh, you guys done what? Second series game 1? You done second series?" I'm like, no, just series 1. It's gonna be a bit of a long one.
Yeah, we're in for a pretty good day here, no doubt. But last cast for us remote streamers at the major,
true.
so I'll take it. I'd rather have that than a quick day.
That I will agree with.
So what are the options for Infamous here? It sounds like we both kind of agree that the Fnatic draft looks a little better, maybe has just some easier to execute win conditions, but what needs to go right for Infamous to make this a W?
Roche, for sure. Alchemist needs to be relatively messed around with, and I think they have a couple good ingredients. Like the Earth Spirit is such a trash laner anyway that he's going to be moving between lanes for ganks, right? And so he can get a couple of stacks off during that and try and get something going for the Alchemist. And I mean, Mason, look at this guy. The guy grinds pubs. All of his heroes are super high level in terms of the Dota Plus, but this guy plays a lot of Ursa. There's no doubt about that. And I'm curious to see if Tomato does some of these creep pulling shenanigans that we saw do before. And of course, the tips between Mason and Abed, as they used to play together. So the love's still there,
This is a super dank Ursa set here.
The default?
Yeah.
Looking real good. Mason, look at him trying to distract him right as the bounty runes are coming. Yeah, gets him with the XD.
It's a good strat.
Right as everyone's meeting up there, everyone's just coming into the bounty runes and he starts all chatting. Very disrespectful.
And nobody's starting boots first this game.
No booters.
No booters.
So our lane setup looks like who's mid for the Radiant here? What do we got? Is it indeed Abed? Yeah.
Yep. Going to be the Ember Spirit.
Coddle Naga dual off lane. This looks pretty gross.
Yeah, that sounds pretty darn good.
Not as good as it used to be, though, that's for sure. I mean, without the Riptide, like having a mana cost and everything, and like double Riptides and stuff with the CD reduction.
That is true.
The battle begins.
Wow, look at this. Infamous with 3 bounty runes to start. Some body block action down there.
After Tomato here, too. Look, Jabs just giving him the hurt. Okay, Abed.
He's got that little boar, too. Great start for Infamous, though. Small lead with those bounties. Moose hanging up on the high ground says, hey there, Jabs. Uh-oh, he's got Thunderstrike. I don't know who actually wins this exchange. The Thunderstrike is pretty dirty. He's going to roll up, catches him with a stun. No Orb of Venom on this Earth Spirit, though, so I think Jabs will be able to just walk away from it. And, yep, that's going to be the plan.
He had second Thunderstrike coming, but he didn't want to commit there.
Yeah. I don't know if you get that kill with Orb of Venom, but it's definitely a lot more threatening.
Moose is probably going to just try and make sure Jabs doesn't body block this camp. Oh, doesn't matter. Sends the Hawk in. Haha, Beastmaster. So Doom not going to get his creep. Very disappointing. And Moose is actually going to body block the small camp. So now that's obviously makes so the Radiant can't pull, but sometimes we've seen Dooms just resorting to grabbing the creep from there. So Papita just forced to devour the lane creep, it looks like.
Yep. Pretty far trek to get back towards those centaurs or those alpha wolves in his jungle. Ursa Oracle, can they handle the wrath of the Naga, Keeper of the Light? So
yeah, I don't
far,
know. Mason's going to be rather irritated, I imagine, because the constant mana pool that'll come out once DJ gets level 2 and just infinite illusions. And they have been buffed recently. They take less damage and they last longer. Of course, in laning stage, it's mostly the damage that'll matter. DJ not able to secure the range creep there, but he also does not go down. As they were starting to target him there with the Oracle and the Fortune's End stuff. Mid lane, 10-2, 9-5, 8-2. You
Yep.
say the mid laner's up top, but it's Ice who's slaying it there with the 10-2. And now Abed will catch back up. But Tomato not forced to any sort of pulls.
should be a pretty farm-heavy mid lane. Another one of these matchups without rotations. Pretty low kill potential. I think should be favored for the Ember Spirit, but I think Alt can handle his own. Or hold his own, rather.
And I guess this is the reasoning, too, that, I'm talking about, like, why aren't they just sending the Ursa mid? But they've essentially, I was looking for them to greed a hard carry to the safe lane, but of course they've just greeded a hard carry to the mid lane in the Alchemist. So makes sense in that regard. And Tomato going to be able to farm this camp and then also stack camp next to him at the 3-minute mark. And there's not really a whole lot they can do. They don't really have supports. They're going to be rotating into this jungle at all. Tomato gets over there, grabs the pole. Oh, needs the poison to kill that creep. Oh, no.
He biffed one of them.
That's a little unfortunate, but at least he got the stack off. Shouldn't matter. He's going to have to go back for the wave either way.
Yeah. Very small stuff, but still. Efficiency. It's how you play the mid lane these days.
Tomato just getting burnt by that level 2 Flame Guard, but Abed not going to push it.
Potential rotation here. Jabs. Smoked up, actually. Leaving that
who's dying
Beastmaster
first
all alone.
in this game? Do you think it's Tomato?
Say again?
Who do you think's going to die first? We're still... Oh, it's Ice! It's Ice, Ice, Ice! That's who.
And I missed
Oh,
it.
my God.
Ah.
Jeez. Nuts.
I want to see this potential gank on Tomato, though. I don't know if Jabs is going to go for it. Abed, pretty low on mana, does have a mango. There's... Oh!
Ice!
Are you kidding?
The team pause.
At least it was a team pause. That's pretty funny, though. You can even still see the blue dust from the mango behind him.
Yeah. Tomato's just like, I think something might be up here.
Well, it looks like Tomato's going to run north, which is definitely the play. Jabs, only level 2, has not skilled up Glimpse yet. Probably not going to be able to make this gank happen.
No, I don't think he just has the damage, right? I mean, he has literally exactly enough mana for the Searing Chase. Damn, he did the math. That's actually kind of sick. So he was waiting until the mango was enough for both Flame Guard and Searing Chains.
Actually, the chains. Here comes the Disruptor. There's the kinetic field. And another pause. We'll give Tomato some time to think about it. Now 2 TP rotations on the way.
It's like PowerPoint Dota here. Choose your own adventure.
So now, Trent, if you draw a line over here. So who else? Who's that other person TPing? Is that
Earth
Oracle?
Spirit and Oracle.
Yeah. Okay.
Now the real question is, what happens with this courier? Now, can they target the courier together, ignore Tomato, and get that kill?
Ooh, it's gonna be tight. So still 3.8 seconds on Oracle's TP, 0.7 on Earth Spirit. I don't think this courier's dying. I think this courier is gonna be fine.
I mean, it's pretty damn hard to kill courier. This, the flying courier.
Question is really, will Tomato die?
Yes. I think so, at least. How much Thunderstrike's left? A quarter duration?
2, maybe?
So he
it's going to be
strike?
close.
Yeah, it's hard if it's 1 over 2. It's only 1 more strike.
So he's going to run down. Abed does find it with the slight. Now Moose
Moose
actually
was really
pretty low. This is a disaster for Infamous. Jabs helping him finish off that next kill, and it's a double for Abed. He will go down, and Wu should be able to get a double. He cleans it up, but it's an Oracle. That is not the hero you want getting all that golden XP.
It's all right. Early XP on an Oracle, right?
Well, yeah, kid. If your opportunity cost is your Alchemist, I think it's not great.
At least they got the return kills. That's the big deal. Like, the rotations were still obviously worth it because Tomato was definitely dead. There's like no way you're getting out of that one. Yeah. There's very few supports that could have saved you either way. Meanwhile, though, MP is just in their jungle. I mean, he's just pulling the waves, so obviously they know he's there, but he's just completely dodging the Ursa in that regard. And then the Caudle can just stick on the lane, gets a pull-off, too, right under the nose of Infamous. They see it with his ward, but can't do anything.
Mason's farming pretty well, though. Number 2 on CS overall. 5-minute bounties. Looks like Wu snuck over and grabbed it. DJ.
Jabs as well was invis ruined underneath Moose. And
they might get Papita stuck inside the kinetic field. Jabs sets it up, and Ice secures the kill. Still in the enemy
DJ's
jungle.
Chasing Wu.
DJ and Wu having a private party. Forces out the shrine. DJ sees this stack. That's kind of nice. Get some visual intel. And also sees a courier. That's not going to be so
Wu is
easy.
microing that courier while he escapes from the Caudle. He's like trying to send it back to his core. What a nice guy.
Mid lane, though. 2 of Infamous. And now Wu going to join the party to make it a trio. Abed gets a remnant off. Fortune's End just slows him down. No real kill attempt there.
All right, so where are we at in terms of net worth then? Is this Alk? He is still below the Ember because of that kill.
Ember's the only level 6 hero right now, Trent. If he hadn't gotten that double kill, he might not be 6, wouldn't have had the remnants, and that might have actually been a kill there.
Wow.
Look at that. How's that for opportunity?
Dota adds up. There you go. Got him. Well,
Meanwhile,
how about MP on the run up top here?
And he's dead. Mason picks one up.
You think you can fool Mason with illusions? He sees through your trickery.
It is true.
Yeah.
Oop. Level 6 Ursa.
Level 6 Doom.
Some tips
Killed
here.
Ice.
I missed the ice kill. What happened down there?
He bodied him. I don't know. I missed it too. He's got Shockwave. Maybe he got Shockwave, and then suddenly Papita's level 6, so now Ice is coming back into the lane with level 5. Okay, to be fair, he's 1 XP away from 6, but I mean, how much does that change it? Obviously, if he gets doomed, it's not going to matter what level you are.
Probably not. What's going on in this jungle here? Oh, the creep stack. Well, that's nice. Jabs and Abed will take out that triple stack, rather. Up top, DJ, caught by the Fortune's End. Mason comes in. That's a kill for the Ursa.
This is a really nice game adjustment from Fnatic, though, because I was talking about how they don't really have the best heroes for rotating in there, but, he just does it anyway on the Disruptor. He just goes in, he gets that ward down, and he's watching over the stacks. And that's what the circles from Wu Dota are saying. He's like, yeah, they just completely warded inside our jungle. And that's why Tomato's been forced down into the bottom, which also already has a ward from the Radiant. So they're keeping tabs on what Tomato is doing and trying to watch his farm progression. Unfortunately, in the end, it is still an Alchemist, so that Radiance does come pretty early.
Ice manages to get off the ultimate. Jabs also rotates just in time to block out the Doom. They almost could have just turned it around for a counter kill, but with the ultimate available, might be able to get it on the Ice, but the glimpse. Ice lives.
Okay, well, I'll run you back on the mid lane. Abed tried to kill Wu, but Wu was able to almost turn around onto Abed. It was a little bit back and forth with the help of Tomato, and now Wu's just really low and still running. So there you go. And now he is the Remnant back underneath the tower to catch that top rune. Oh,
wow.
Got him.
That was pretty nice. Tomato now
we're
level
back.
6. Wow, Tomato is going to go Radiance first on this Alchemist.
Yeah, I think that's still the only build right now for the Alks.
All right.
No, no armlet gaming. At least I haven't seen anyone go for it yet. It's all about the Radiance and then maybe either Manta or right into a Blink sometimes too if you want to play aggressive.
Wu
just getting chased.
He's in some big-time trouble. Abed might have committed a little too deep for this. Silenced, doomed, and certainly dead. They'll hand it over to Tomato. Very nice there. Meanwhile, up top, Mason with a dive onto DJ. But MP makes the rotation. Ice, Ice, Ice also. Still no Primal Roar. Another 10 seconds. Mason looks like he'll survive.
Yeah, he is completely fine here. And looks like a couple more problems there. And there are 8 seconds left on the Roar. But even if he basically just pump fake the Roar, Mason will ulti. Ice will laugh a little bit and tip him, and Mason still lives.
I'm trying to remember the last time I saw a really good like armlet blink Alk game that went well, and I'm pretty sure it was a Chinese team, but it might have been years ago. Alk has been pretty unpopular for a while.
I feel like Miracle was doing it for a while, a couple of years back too. I feel like it was kind of a little bit of a staple that they were opting for.
I haven't seen it recently, but I actually think it can be viable in certain situations. If you're doing pretty well in the lane, he farms so fast with Greevil's Greed that you get a couple of kills with it, and you can control the momentum of the game. And I mean, you can snowball just with fighting items. You don't have to play so passive. But Ice, 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 he's going to be in a little deep. Speaking of aggression, ooh,
guess that keyboard's still not plugged in.
Something like that.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Now, Abed is at least chipping down the tower during all of this, so they're forced to make a rotation if they want to defend it, and MP's going to leave that Dire jungle. He's going for almost the same build as we saw earlier, except instead of the Manta first after all the Wraith bans, he's looking at either the bots or right into the Diffusal.
Okay.
Jabs, able to glimpse, but now Papita's been sticking around a bit too long, so yeah, you're just dead.
Abed now joining the party. Papita should be okay here, I think. Abed still gets the bounty rune and then gets the hell out of there. Sees Wu pick up that invisibility. Still a 3K net worth lead for Infamous right now. Actually doing pretty well in this laning phase. Alk, #1 on net worth, farming away in the jungle.
I like how Jabs didn't even try and leave. He just stood there fighting the Doom. He's like, yeah, I'll survive long enough for the rune and then die, sure. It was very odd.
Some pings up top. Mason actually working on a Midas, has the recipe already.
Yeah, trying to get to that side shot.
Primal Roar comes out onto Wu. Follow up, Jabs with the glimpse onto Papita. Wu getting very low. Looks like he'll just barely survive. No, the last tick from Jabs. He gets the last laugh.
Mason got the kill on the bear or the Beastmaster though, so has his Midas. Now will he run? No, he's sending that courier home. He's like, yeah, excuse me. What comes first, Midas or Radiance? This is a tough question. The answer is Radiance. Sorry, Mason, you lost out, buddy.
Huh. I was gonna say Midas, so.
No, I'm gonna have to agree. It's definitely Radiance.
All right.
Or no, the true answer is the secret shop.
To get the Radiance.
The relic first. There you go.
Yeah, there you
go.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Ursa trying to battle against Abed's Ember Spirit, but not going to be able to connect unless the roll forward. Not quite there. Another glimpse. Jabs will just walk away, or at least try to. Wu up on the high ground. That's a Fortune's End, but I don't know how far they want to pursue. And indeed, Infamous will head back to safety.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, so now it's a 2K lead for Infamous, but of course they have an Alchemist, so that's not any sort of a game-breaking lead by any means here. They are right on top of Papita. He's getting low.
Ultimate from the Coddle. Pretty well placed. Might clip him once more, and it does. Oracle healing him up. Starting to feel that regen. Mason posturing like he wants to go in and maybe take a fight. Even the Primal Roar used.
Everything was just a
Fortune's
little
End.
off.
And now Jabs, he's going to get caught by Moose. Magnetize should be enough to secure that one. TP home from Coddle. Good use of the Glimmer Cape. I like that.
Yeah. They had the roar was like 5 seconds off. The glimpse is about 10 seconds off. Had they had their abilities, of course, that looked like some free picks, but then they just kind of get baited in a little bit further there. And Ice just ends up chucking out a roar for really nothing. He's now 1-4-1 on this Beastmaster. That this was their 9th pick overall, right? So not exactly popping off for such a late pick into the draft.
Yeah, just a Vlad's, some Necros queued up. How's Abed looking?
I like this. He's going. Oh, sorry, I was going to say Tomato. Abed is going for the Maelstrom, it looks like.
Yeah, this kind of new standard Ember Spirit build: Phase, Drum, Maelstrom.
Yeah.
Stop off for some
the
stats.
Blink being considered here from Tomato. I hope he goes for it. I think it'd be a nice way to compliment his Ursa this early on, and his Doom, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, how are they going to fight with this Radiance Blink, this Doom being up? They look super strong enough for Infamous, actually. They are playing really well. And I think I said, what, 80-20 Fnatic take this series? Not looking like the case at the moment.
Tret Sportsbook, where dreams are made and money is donated to fans around the world.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Only if they listen to me.
Diffusal is on the way for Naga. She actually went Boots of Travel first, so MP a different build than what we saw before from LGD, prioritizing the movement speed, ability to get around the map.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And that Blink is done, too. Jeez.
He's farming well.
After all that pushing down bottom, Ice is getting some pressure onto this tower, but there's no one there really helping him. They're just farming up the jungle. So max efficiency, but no structures taken here. And I think they'll be able to defend in time, but they go straight onto Wu.
They find him. That's an Oracle down. Static Storm used for it, but pretty key piece of the Infamous arsenal. Although I don't know if they mind too much. I think they're just trying to farm up. BOT's
it's hard
up
to get
next
a
for
good
Al.
read on how much the bounty or the Beastmaster's doing in games like this, because obviously the Hawk is helping to secure kills like that. He's throwing in all this vision. So I'm talking about how Ice is like 1-4-1, but obviously the hero is doing more than his kill score might lead on. Again, no detection here. There's some dust on the Earth Spirit, and that will catch Ice's Ice.
They get there in time, though. Having trouble closing the gap. Gets off a nice Primal Roar. Will-O-Wisp also goes down. And they will get out. Bounty Rune was snagged by Tomato, though, it looks like. Crafty little
That was a big
alchemist.
cooldown, though. That's now 2 minutes where they can push pretty fearlessly on the side of Infamous. I could honestly consider Roche. I think that's what they should do. And it looks like Ice is thinking the same thing, as that's where he's going to send the Hawk.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
In fact, Ice is actually being hunted down here.
If they can find him, Moose
Dire's
takes a
bottom
shot in the
tower
dark.
is
Not
under
going to find it.
attack.
Yeah, they don't have scan up.
But DJ, he's going to bump right into him. Fortune's End will connect.
is
And
dispellable.
Mason, he's going to get there in time to lay in the damage. So some sharp claws he's got. Other side, rotation from the rest of Fnatic. Nope. Cool build from this Disruptor, too. Brown Boots Earn.
Yeah, someone has built Spirit Vessel for the Alchemist. And it looks like he's just going to be the best target, or the best hero for it, rather. Tomato gets targeted in the mid lane.
He's in big trouble. That's going to be a great Static Storm kinetic field. Nowhere to go. They can't TP react in time, though Pepita is here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's a great pickoff.
Man, he actually died so fast.
I mean, he hasn't really itemized for survivability yet. Wu. Oh, he's going to get off the False Promise, and actually with the Shrine, could potentially survive here.
Yeah, he's alive.
Looks like he's good. Okay. Yeah, I guess that is a lot of healing.
The
from
indicator
Shrine.
actually works now. They have fixed it enough that if it is the red sun, he's going to die. And if it's that other thing, I don't even know how to describe it, he's going to live.
Oh, really? I noticed that little symbol, so it is truly a binary. It's no longer the, like, I'm kind of guessing based on the color spectrum here.
Yeah, because it used to show both symbols. It was adding all of the healing and all of the damage, and now it just shows the net value. And that's why it's able to just be clear. So you can even tell if it's like super red, then yeah, he's taking a ton of damage. And you can kind of see how the symbol changes for the living one, too.
Okay. All right.
Based
That's a
on
nice
if he's
quality
gonna
of
survive.
life change for Oracle observers.
Indeed.
I'm into it.
Or Oracle allies.
Or Oracle allies. That's a good point.
I don't really like how he bought this Blink Dagger and they haven't fought, though. I feel like there was some opportunity for just like even a quick smoke gank just for a kill and into a Roche. It feels like they are getting moved around this map a little bit by the combination of the Nog and the Beastmaster. So this strategy from Fnatic definitely working out. They are just completely dodging fights.
Well, baiting with this Doom right now. They will catch the initiation. Moose goes in deep, gets off a nice magnetize. Papita still hanging on to that ultimate, but wow, DJ gets destroyed. Infamous in good shape, thinking about the Doom on Abed, but cancels it.
Nice. Oh, he just gets out. Oh man, TPing in the face of Tomato.
Arcane Rune up top.
CD.
And Abed will just grab that for his bottle.
Interesting that MP didn't pop the song there. It looked like it was kind of a good moment for it, right? They were all so clumped up, but I wonder if he is just a little too concerned about the Roche possibilities.
It's a level 2 ulti, so 2-minute cooldown. Yeah, it's a little scary. The Diffusal also out on the Naga. So her damage output is a thing now.
Oh, Shadow Blade on Papita. It is still all the way back in the stash, though, so not going to be here to wrap around here. Speaking of wrapping around, everyone from Fnatic is lurking.
But Mason, he caught one. Looks like they've got vision of it, and this wraparound will be thwarted. Tomato going to stun himself. Maybe an opening for Fnatic to go, but not going to go for it. Instead, they'll just send in the Necro units. They lose one. Song of the Siren. MP gets a pretty good setup on two.
Moose is ready, though.
Ursa and Doom. Tomato with a stun. Throws it across. Static Storm. Kinetic Field. Ice, Ice, Ice is still going to die. This combo's not going to go the way they thought it would. Papita is still alive and healthy. Charging into the backline with a Doom available. Be very conservative about this cooldown. Ember Spirit flying around the back line, trying to pick off Wu, but he gets off the false promise in time. Now Mason jumps in. They finally deploy the Doom, and Abed gets punished hard for his greedy commitment. Now on the other side, DJ, they've got the detection, they've got the damage. 3 dead for Fnatic. It's all Infamous.
Wow, how did that turn around? That looked like a nice start for them. One thing is that they didn't know where Moose was. He was lurking in these trees next to the tier 1 tower, just like stuck in there. And so when the song ended, he was able to jump right onto the Disruptor and the Naga and kind of disrupt any sort of follow-up from those two. And I guess just not enough damage to start. Oh, he still gets that bounty rune as jabs. I'm not sure if he wants this Earth Spirit here. Good thing he doesn't have any mana, though.
Well, with Roshan nearby, I don't know who this favors. Moo's going to end up going down, but Mason just appears out of the pit with an Aegis in hand. Can't quite finish off Jazz, but now Tomato's here with that Blink Dagger and a stun in tow. Will-O-Wisp for the Keeper of the Light breaks up the fight a fair amount. Maybe they can make the retreat. They're trying to focus down the ultimate, and they'll get it, but it's at the cost of the Aegis. Ursa coming back to life. Infamous, low on HP. They are going to back out. Maybe looking to reinitiate those. Papita gets pulled in by the Glimpse. Kinetic Field, he won't be able to make it out. But the Shadow Blade keeps him alive. Illuminate, not enough damage.
No backing away versus the Disruptor, but at least he's able to survive there. So a solid play there from Fnatic, though. I mean, they forced the buyback and they got rid of that Aegis, so it will curb the aggression from Infamous, but they are still, I would say, forced a little bit to play onto that Radiant side of the map here, with the Bastion now picked up here, too, from Mason. He's going the full-out aggro build, no really BKB or anything.
I like it.
They just want to get the max potential out of this Alc, who now has Manta, too.
Pretty scary how fast this Alchemist is farming, especially now that Infamous are also taking other objectives and team fights. Roshan in the bag, and now this tier 1 up top will be the new focus. Fnatic heroes kind of nearby.
They should be able to get both these towers without much of a fight.
Ice looking to TP out. Tomato, they get there in time. See you later. Nice pickoff. Just barely found him in time.
So the aggression from Infamous was a little bit delayed at the start of this game. Like, that Blink Dagger came out on the Alchemist, and he farmed all the way to bots before another fight, and then he was, like, finished a Yasha by the time they actually engaged the side of Fnatic, just because of the way this Beastmaster, Naga, and Ember were just clearing waves the second they hit the towers. But once they balled up from the side of Infamous, they have been a very dominant force. Their heroes are just built for fighting at the moment. Whereas they don't necessarily have the damage right now from Fnatic, I think. And also the levels. I mean, you look at Jabs, just he's throwing out, like, that's one problem with Disruptor. He doesn't get a lot stronger damage-wise with levels until he hits those peaks in his ultimate. Because, like, you're mostly just leveling up Glimpse, right? So it's like, sick. I can create good fights, but my team doesn't really want to fight with me at the moment. So I don't have damage scaling on a couple of my allies. And now he's going to run into Pepita.
As the ultimate, hanging on to it for now. Glimpse, kinetic field. Both teams reinforcing, but looks like it won't be a full fight.
I think Tomato just goes BKB and they go for high ground. He's actually going for a Lotus instead. All right, that's also fine. I guess he wants a way to... Oh, yeah, right, Spirit Vest. That's why. He sees this Disruptor. I mean, BKB obviously for the same reasoning, but on top of the Spirit Vessel, he can also use the Lotus Orb and just like... he'll have his Manta, his Lotus Orb to deal with the Blinding Light and the Spirit Vessel.
Mm-hmm. I think the armor on the Lotus Orb also helps a little bit. Double him up. DJ. It's going to be an easy pick. Coddle made a paper at this stage. Force Staff Glimmer just not enough. Looking for more perhaps. Ember Spirit jumping all over the place. And meanwhile, Alchemist just split pushing bottom. Could be a free tier 2, though Abed does come down. Another TP on the way. Tomato could be in trouble. MP, Ice, Ice, Ice as well. Oracle, not even going to need it. The Lotus is there in time. Now the rest of his team, he gets pulled back. Static Storm, Kinetic Field, but there's just no damage. Wu still hanging on to the ultimate, and now Pepita's here.
Yeah, it's taken so long that the allies have arrived.
Ice, Ice, Ice trying to make it back into the trees. They'll have the stun with a concoction. And Mason, oh, hello.
Tomato's going to be level 20 soon. And you can go for that concoction damage.
Mid lane, initiation onto Disruptor. Moose maybe looking for a solo kill, but does not have the mana for Magnetize. Kinetic Field comes out just in time. Roll forward, jabs. Could still be in trouble, but the bolas. And he still dies. Well then. Fnatic is just getting ripped apart here, Trent. Absolutely nothing going their way.
Yeah, and now even MP being chased down.
He does have Song TP, but they might have enough stuns, silences across
no Manta.
The lot of them. He's dead.
Yeah, he's got no way to survive through the silence. Try and get off his song or anything. And now, now this talent has been changed. It is now added to the max damage instead of the base damage. So Concoction, the level 20 used to be completely broken because the minimum damage went up by 400. But now it's just the maximum damage that goes up. So you still have to at least get some charge time on there.
Yes. That's a very important nuanced change. And, well, hello, Ice, Ice, Ice.
It makes it a lot worse for situations exactly like that. Like, it just did, like, 200 and some damage less than it usually did. Obviously, it's not going to matter.
Doom been deployed, and that's going to be an Abed heading back to the well. Seems Coddle's going to be able to make it out. He'll TP home, but Doom is just too much for this Ember Spirit to handle. He's trying to get a Linken's. He's bought the recipe, but, man, he is so far away, and I'm not even sure that's going to be enough.
No, the pickoff game is just, it's so strong right now because they've only built for the wave clear on the side of Fnatic, but they haven't bought for the defending ourselves clearing waves. So they have no survivability or escape. I mean, that's what just happened to MP without the Manta and what you just saw from the Ember when he doesn't have his Linken Spear. They're just free food right now.
Shadow Blade from Pepita has definitely paid for itself, allowing him these great aggressive positions.
Jeez, he has a BKB now, too.
He's farming well. Tier 2 mid. Down she goes.
Tomato's got an Octarine core as well here. Momentarily.
Jeez.
I mean, he can just go buy it if he wants. I don't really think he needs buyback.
It's a pretty substantial lead they've got for themselves. MP trying to move his way around the trees. Blink Dagger on the Naga. Still no Manta. No. Blink might be enough to stay alive. Whoa.
Easy. Not even close. Oh, look, he'll cut out Mason. That's nice. All right, next Roche may respawn in 1 minute, so Infamous are just choking out the map at the moment. 21k lead. With an Alchemist, even this is still a brutal lane. Or a brutal lead, rather. And Tomato chasing Abed.
He's got a double damage on, even around the shrine. Could potentially go for a fight. Maybe looking at some D wards. Static Storm, Kinetic Field. They have caught the Doom. This is the entire squad of Fnatic. And Tomato actually goes back in to drop a stun. He does have some teammates nearby. Fnatic unsure if they want to pursue this. Going to hold their high ground for now and let Infamous head back to the lane.
I would say not worth fighting if you are Infamous. And your Doom just died. There's nothing to gain at the moment. Just wait for the Roche. I'm not sure how he didn't get his BKB throughout all that, too. That's one thing. The courier kept getting pulled around, I think. He tried several times to bring it to himself with it. So I'm sure he's a little wussy right now. When we talked about survivability, it looks like MP's forced just to go straight into that hard, eh?
Looks like it.
I mean, against an Ursa, though, that's raw HP isn't necessarily the easiest way to live.
A little surprised to see him pick up the Reaver before the Manta.
I think he just needs... He thinks he needs some big item here, like for his illusions, to try and keep this game going. And that would be what the Heart's for.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Team player, Tomato buys a gem for the squad, helping out his supports.
Oh, jumps
That's
in.
the real Naga. They got him.
Just like that, it's a dead Naga Siren. Great catch from Tomato, and his team was nearby, just kind of like, what are we supposed to do, man?
Mason's godlike.
9-0-3. So far, been a pretty flawless Ursa game. That was his debut BKB charge. And now this tier 3 tower under assault. Remember, Tomato front lining here. Octarine Core. God, he heals fast.
Oh, and look at this top. Ice's Ice got caught doing the rat. Pepita just walks over and dooms him. Oh, a little misclick there, it looked like.
Juked in the trees. I don't know, is he going to... The slow from the boar is actually really obnoxious here, but the phase boots... It'll be close. Ice should be able to live. Maybe. No, he blocks himself out. Oh, no. Pepita, though, is he going to live through this?
The Necro Warrior go. Wait, is that... Yeah, it's a Necro 3.
Yeah.
Oh, why can't I see the little true sight thing? Oh, okay.
Okay, I guess he's
They got
good.
rid of the little thing above his head, didn't they?
Meanwhile, in the mid, Song of the Sirens, Static Storm, Kinetic Field. They've got the setup with the Will-O-Wisp. Dire taking some casualties. Both supports down. Instant buybacks, but their cores much too tanky. The Beastmaster gets turned on. That's going to be a dieback for him. Ursa still in the front lines. BKB on cooldown now, but feeling strong. Tomato just charging in. Stun onto DJ. That's going to be a dead Coddle. No Kinetic Field to save him. Infamous flexing their muscles right now past the tier 4s.
Tomato starts a TP mid, but I think it just got canceled, perhaps? I'm not even sure. Yeah, he got glimpsed in place, so he is stuck back in the base, but he doesn't really care. Oh, Moose does go down on this chase.
Up. MP, this chase is still going on, by the way. Pepita, though, with the fiery sword, will have too much. Now back the enemy way. Abed dueling against Tomato. Fortune's End making things a little bit easier. Buyback used by the Coddle. Creeps now in the base, so they are whomping away at these barracks. Double siege in the back. This will be at least a melee. Blinding Light, very annoying, but not going to be enough to delay the inevitable. No outer towers remaining with Beastmaster in the grave for 30. I think they're going to keep on keeping on, and yes, indeed.
Yeah, they just got way too far ahead of this Alchemist, and then after that, the Ursa too. Mason obviously playing a fantastic game. This Ursa was first phase. And he is 10-0-3. Thinking he might not have been addressed.
Yeah, he had a pretty good time. That Naga Coddle lane was not nearly as deadly as we thought it would be on paper. Tomato also having a pretty standout performance here.
I think a lot of the problem just being that obviously they have to commit a lot of resources to the Alchemist, which by nature is going to free up quite a bit of space. Like you saw Fnatic just playing inside that dire jungle for a really long time. But they never found that many kills. They didn't block off a lot of the camps. And then once they just kind of left, Alch just kind of rotated back in and was like, okay, cool, thank you. And then a couple bad fights up top for Fnatic, and suddenly the game just got very stale.
Two great plays happening here. Infamous waiting for them to leave the base, but the scan completely reveals it. Ice, Ice, Ice charges up with confidence. We'll see if it's the right play, though. Tomato pressing forward. He's just too big. They're going to bring down the Beastmaster and not get anything for it. I think Fnatic are just out of resources. They just straight up don't have the damage to kill these cores.
Yeah, Mason even returned from the roast, but he'll go back now. Oh, DD.
Well, that'll make it even easier.
Make it easier on the way out for some kills is what they're saying. I mean, you don't need a DD for Roche.
Mason with the full Abyssal Blade now. Naga able to grab a couple of bounties. Small pick-me-up for Fnatic.
Yeah, they're just going to look to close this one out here with the pipes on the Doom.
We're at that critical mass in terms of farm where the Alchemist is worth more than the leading two farmers on Fnatic combined.
3, I think. Almost 3.
Almost.
He's like 1K shy of 3.
You're right. Ice is a little bit less farmed than I thought. So Heart of Taras does come out on the Naga, which means Naga will not have buyback, short only gold. This is basically the final hold. Going in onto Ursa, they might be able to ruin this flawless score, but oh wait, he's got an Aegis. And in the interim, he brings down Ice before the song even gets deployed. We'll see if they can do something here. Abed just doesn't have the damage. He's forced to back up. MP pretty far out of the base, trying to keep the fight away from his barracks, but the Alchemist focusing on objectives in this back line. Oracle taking a lot of damage. False Promise going to keep him alive. Doom used on Abed once again, secures the kill there, and that'll be enough for a GG. They tap out. Infamous take game number 1 in convincing fashion, 12-32. What a performance.
Yeah, 37K victory at 34 minutes. I guess when we look back on the game, Fnatic, they kind of wound up in a situation where they had 4 split-pushing heroes between the Ember, the Beastmaster, the Naga, and the Coddle. Like 4 heroes that are trying to basically catch waves and push them back out. And in terms of like, which of these heroes would smoke up and play aggressively? The best you could think of would be the Beastmaster and who? They don't have any burst damage during Roar. They have an Oracle like single target save that they picked in the first phase. Then you go for your best initiators, a single target focus. The Naga Disruptor is good for team fights, but they only found a single fight, and then obviously that didn't even go well for them. Like that's the one fight you're supposed to win. Even if they win that fight, this game is still difficult. But it felt like Fnatic picked all these heroes, and maybe they thought they were going to win the lanes harder. Possibly, I'm not sure, because that definitely did not happen.
Yeah, I mean, you summarized it well with not addressing the Ursa. It seemed like they were a little more nervous about the Alchemist, maybe. We saw some dancing around in the mid lane that didn't really favor Fnatic all that well. I think after, like, level 5, Tomato was just left to his own devices. They couldn't really stop him from farming in the jungle. And then the Doom. I mean, he's been a recurring story that we keep talking about today.
So at 8 minutes, the net worths were 3760 for the Ember. He was having a pretty good time. But then it was 3730 Doom, 3730 Ursa, and 3600 Alk. And then after that, you have 600 gold behind both the Naga, and then a further 900 behind was the Beastmaster. So like just that early in the game, they started building this lead on those 3 cores. And then after that, it was kind of all dire cores. The Alk just getting out of control. And although the Ember and the Naga started to farm up quite a bit from like 15 to 20 minutes, then the fight started, and they still weren't ready for it. The lack of a defensive item on both heroes just meant that the heroes coming online from Infamous first was really painful.
I think that's what made Alchemist such a good pick here, because you see the Naga Siren, you see this Ember Spirit, you know there's going to be this window of the game where both their cores don't really want to fight at all, and you have 2 ways to handle that. Either we're going to fight and force you to take us on, or we're just going to farm, and we're going to pick a hero like Alchemist who objectively farms better than you do, all things equal. And it was especially great because it was coupled with like an Ursa Oracle Earth Spirit who could actually fight a little bit and make space for the Alchemist. And they even went Midas on Ursa. So it just said, okay, you guys want to go greed with the Naga? We got greed, dude. Wait till you see this. And worked like a charm.
Yeah, very nice game. So we'll see what the draft from Fnatic looks like next game. Looked a little bit different than their games yesterday. Maybe we'll see some more focus on something like that Lone Druid, or perhaps like an earlier Viper, like they just first phased it straight up last time. I'm not sure. Maybe it was in the first phase. No, it was not in the first phase bans last game. Actually, it was from Fnatic themselves. So we'll see how Fnatic change up moving into the next match.
Okie doke. So quick break, boys and girls. Then game 2, Fnatic Infamous coming up.